All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Art Talk. So today I wanted to talk about identifying what it is that you dislike about your artwork. I think this is a very important thing just to know for yourself, because through this understanding of what it is that you dislike, then it starts to put you in a place of knowing what is that you actually need to do, what it is you actually need to focus on. And people may say, I just don't like how flat my drawings are. I don't like that I don't get enough life or energy in my drawing. I don't like the way that I can't even think of ideas, and that's part of a struggle I have. So there's so many different areas that you can have within yourself that you dislike. I remember that I used to just dislike my life drawing so much. I'd go to life drawing class and I'd just be so disappointed afterwards when I came out and feeling like I never really captured the subject, or the construction wasn't there, or something was missing. But through that understanding that I disliked it, I knew that I had to do something about it. And that's what just led me just to keep going back, to keep showing up and struggle through it in order to get me to where I was starting to feel confident. And don't get me wrong, I still go into a life drawing class where sometimes, some days I'll just have a model and I dislike everything that I do. It happens. It's just part of it. But it's, again, the identifying of your weakness that is going to start making you stronger. And that's what I just want to encourage you today is write those things down. Just get it out of your head. Just look at your own work. And, there's a hard thing and a hard line to being too judgmental amongst yourself for yourself. When you're looking at other people's artwork all day long, it's very easy to get discouraged and start to say, God, that person is so good at what they do, and they draw this so well and they draw that so well, and I don't, and man, I'm just no good. And there's that self-defeating aspect that comes from that, and this is something that I just want to encourage you just to look at this artwork and try to be inspired by it, not intimidated by it, but just know that through looking at someone else's work, that'll help you identify your weakness. So you realize that I know that this is wrong, but not to beat up on yourself and quit and just like that I'm not even going to put my portfolio out there because of this, and I'm not even going to show it to anyone because of that. Try just to, again, it's such a belief system, just to know that this is going to be this is where I am. This is who I am. This is what I'm doing. This is where I am in the world of art right now. And maybe you start to say to yourself, am I putting in as much practice as I know that I should be? I know that this is what everyone tells me to do. I know that I'm constantly encouraged to watch your Silver Drawing Academy video every single day and work on a lesson and do something. But are you doing it? Are you actually putting that into practice? And then you can start to ask yourself, well, who am I? Who can I blame other than myself? Because I'm the one who's responsible for my own growth. It's up to me how dedicated I decide that I'm going to really start getting into this. But I just don't want to, detract too much, other than just really say to you, try to identify those weaknesses within you. Get professional opinions. I think it's very important, especially if you feel like you're just unsure and you're lost and you've been showing it to your parents and your friends and everyone's telling you that your stuff looks great, you're so talented, you're so good, but deep within yourself something is wrong. That's when you got to get that little bit of that professional help, the eyeballs on it, just to say, yeah, you know what? I think you need to work on this. You need to work on that, and push you into that next level just a little bit. But I also feel sometimes you can just overdo it because you've been told these things, you've worked on these things, and you're doing those things in your artwork, but you're still unhappy and you're still unsure and you still got the dislike. There's always going to be a part of you. It just is. I think it's just, I don't know what it is. I can't even explain it. Just the nature of all this. That, again, it almost taps into an imposter syndrome aspect. It taps into just this non-belief because for some reason you just can't see past your own drawings, and you always tend to think that something's wrong with them and it's not good enough. I would say a good sign that your artwork is to that level where you might have been that place where you're feeling, you're just telling yourself you're no good when really you are good. I've seen a lot of that stuff happen in artists before as well, where it's just, if you're getting enough likes on something or enough eyeballs, that's when the momentum starts to pick up. And unfortunately, that's the reality of it. It never used to be this way before social media. There was no judgment, right? When we were doing our art and we were just sharing it out there and putting it out there. I don't even remember how we did it, how people even saw our stuff, before the social media stuff. But you just kept going, and you knew you were getting good because you were getting jobs, right? And things were starting to happen. You would put your stuff in front of an advertising agency, or you'd try to get an art rep, and you'd try to do things like that, and people would hire you to do work because you had the skill level. So that's obviously a sign, right? That you're not getting rejected over and over and over and over and over again. Those are signs. Those are things you got to pay attention to. But then the sign in today's age is through social media, where just overall responses to your artwork when you show people. And if you show a professional and they go, no, listen, man, you're doing pretty good and you're in the right direction, just keep maybe producing more of something. And I would say that through that is going to just should help you start to build up your confidence just a little bit more. But identify it. That's what this Art Talk's all about. Just write it down and know that you got work ahead of you. And be prepared for that, because this is the game. This is the industry. This is what you want to do. And if that's the case, just start plowing, start working extra hard, and make it happen. All right? Other than that, make it a great week, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.